working okay. I can't really think you could do much better than that. This full-size G5 I've got, as you know, I can work from the Shetlands down to the Scillies. And I've done without too much of a problem with it, G. I was using it, but a bit like Kevin, I've been using it for ages. Don't know why, it was the fact it was, look, the last 4 or 5 years, it's been pretty helpless, but appears to be picking up a bit now. In fact, we had a guy come back to us on 40, didn't we, the other day? Was it 40 or 10, I forget. No, it was 2 metres when that guy came back to us from Wolverhampton. I was interested in the club. Because, as you know, I'm a member of the Wolverhampton club. I think he was on 2 metres. Surprising how many folks tend to pack the radio away for years and then suddenly decide, I will kill and give it a blast there, Mick, over.
M3ARB, well, it's certainly cheaper to do that than sell everything up and rebuy it. That's not advisable. Of course, I could dogleg a full G5RB. The trouble is, it'd actually be crossing the other one, which I don't particularly want to do that. I could do it though. I know they work pretty well, the full G5, even when they're completely dog-legged, because you've still got the length of wire. When I was at the other place, I did that, and there was no problem with the way it worked. I could almost zigzag it across, but it would then possibly be crossing other aerials, and I would only do that if I really needed to. It's a pity I can't run another full J5 close to where the other one is, but I wouldn't dare ask. Horace, back to you.
M1WEH, M0WHW. Is there nowhere else you can locate it other than that setup across the allotment, over?
What, the full length?
Yeah, roger.
By the way, Horace, should the SWR light up orange when I'm transmitting?
Oh, no idea. I think I've got that. No, I couldn't tell you. Don't forget the wind's racing around. The wind's moving around something rotten. It's fairly orange.
It's not completely. It's less than 1.5. I think we need to worry. Well, where else would you? I mean, you're talking about locating a second one there, Horace, back to you, or the original one?
If they decide that that's got to come down, could you locate it anywhere else on your property, over?
M0WHWM1WH. I could do, yeah, one way or another. I might have to turn it into a V, or I might have to dogleg it, but I could run it from the front of the house to the back, and then back up again as a V, or I could run it as a Z, I don't think it would run, no it wouldn't run, it would front to back, but I can't take it right from the front, so you'd have to make it a Z or something like that. Back to you there, Horace.
Well, to still work, of course, it'll be less directional probably doing that. I find my G5 is more or less in a straight line north-south. So I work into Wales and East Anglia, and if I'm going distance, obviously into the States, and as you know, I've worked ZL and VK and JA. Not so well south. I have worked South America, but not as often as Ron has, who's got that, whatever it is, diamond antenna, that short one you've got, that he's got east-west. He works South America, well, he works a lot more South America and Caribbean than I have, but east-west I work well. Due south, although that said, I did work into the Falklands once, so something might be working, but I think the general trend is if if it's east-west. If it's north-south, it tends to work best east-west, and I'll probably agree with that there, Mick, over.
WH1WH. Yeah. Do you remember that we bought the parts to make that aerial for 80 metres? I don't know if I've not got the circuit diagram for it, but I've still got the bits. And that basically was a wire that ran all the way around the garden. Because you could actually wire that into a switcher anyway, if you wanted to use that for 80 metres. Do you remember that antenna where we bought the wire and everything to construct it and never did? Back to you now, Horace.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is now. I know I bought the ladder line. It's the one with the ladder line feed. Is that one you're talking about?
Yeah, M3ARB1WH returning. I've got the ladder line feed for it. I've got the wire for the antenna. And somehow you split the... No, I mean... I could probably find it on the internet. It works in a strange way because you put the one end to ground and the other end to the antenna via the ladder feed, but then you cross it as well, don't you? You feed it to two places. I'd have to look for it, but that you can just run round a fence or round the garden. Yours is ideal with that fence you've got. But I could do it easily. You just run it all the way round. You wouldn't even know it's there. It doesn't have to be high up. Back to you there, Horace.
Well, I've got the info on that somewhere. In fact, I know I have. I'll email the diagram with that info on if you can't put your hand on it. I'm not sure whether somebody came back to us then. We could just take a stand. This station M0WHW listening.
Good morning, Horace. Golf 6 United Radio.
Golf 6, just a minute, you're... I'm stuck on this log in one position and I can't get out of it. Golf 6 United didn't get the rest of it. Go with the rest of it, old man, sorry.
It's Golf Horace.
United Radio. Very good morning, Horace. Hope the weather's good over your end. Name is Sam, Sugar America, Mexico. I'm up near southeast of Birmingham. Good morning, Horace. Lovely 5 and 9 plus. I think the area you're talking about is a Marconi, haven't
I think it's a Marconi as well, Sam. Mike came in and just cut the last bit of your call. I've got Golf 6 United. What's the last bit?
Yeah, radio. Roger, Ava.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sam, okay. Apologies for that. Mike came in and just took you out on the last bit of the over. Oh, crikey, we work loads of times, Sam. You're over in what's the Shirley, aren't you? It's what I've got on the course, on the log. We work loads of times. Yeah, it is a Marconi you're talking about. I've got the info somewhere. Mick and I both bought the bits for this. I've got the ladder line cut to length, and I've got the wire, and I've got the crimp on tags, and various other bits and bobs, Sam, but I ain't got so far as to doing anything about it, Sam, over.
Yeah, fine, but what I do, I've got an ordinary full-size G5RB. And what I do, I deck both ends out. Join the both ladder lines together, shove it in a smart tuner, and away you go. You got yourself a Marconi. And I'll tell you what, they've done half work well. What it does, I think, the full-size G5RB, all the 102 foot, and actually transmitting in one go rather than so much the air. I'm not too sure how they work, but we got a lovely figure of 8 up in the air. It worked very good indeed. What they call well, I think if you got one, yours is going to be 5 and 9 plus 20 on it, Abba.
Well, I can do that easily enough. It might be worth trying that when the weather's a bit more stable. It's blowing like a billy here. But yeah, it is a Marconi, that antenna that you're talking about. I can't remember the particular model number of the beast, but I've got the plan of it. Anyway, let me swing it across to Mick, who'll give you a call. Mike's over in Albury, I'm in Bilston, of course, as you know, Sam. The call is M3ARB. Mike's call is Mike1WEH, and he's in Albury. Mike, can you give Sam a call? Golf 6 uniform radio there, Mick, over.
Yeah, no problem there, Horace. M3ARB. By the way, it wasn't me who came in. I think it was Kevin came back to us to tell us. It was Sam who was calling in. Anyway, good morning there, Sam. Sorry, G6 uniform Romeo from M1WEH in Langley. Not too far away. Back to you there, Sam.
Yeah, M1WEH 260, I said, yeah. You threw me down, Nick. I'm trying to think where blinking Langley is. I should know, but my memory's gone a bit, what did I say, AWOL. I'm trying to think where Langley is, but anyway, you'll probably put me right. You're lovely 5 and 9 plus. Nick, a very, very good morning to you. Double exercise, a very, very strong southwesterly wind. The sun is trying to shine, Mick. And I'm just looking at the ladder line now. It's flapping about a bit. I've got a bungee strap on it to keep it from flapping about too much. But yeah, WX, not a bad night last night. Today, well, yesterday afternoon, probably like yourself, you had a beautiful afternoon, sunshiny afternoon. But the morning was absolutely diabolical. The outside road, well, it got a lot of water on it. And when the cars came past, if you was on the pavement, they would have splashed you or drowned you. But it looks pretty good at the moment. Just waiting for that sunshine to come out. And I looked out the window yesterday, Mick, when the sun was shining, all the steam was coming off the garage roof. That's how warm it was, Mick. Anyway, nice to meet you for the first time. Now, you're going to tell me where Langley is, because I'm blinking lost. Mike 1 Whiskey Echo Hotel, 26 UR, man.
Okay, G6 UUR from M1WEH. Langley, sort of not too far from Oldbridge. It's sort of between Birmingham and Dudley, about midpoint really. Perhaps slightly closer to Dudley, but not far from junction 2 of the M5 there, Sam, if that's any good with you. G6 UUR from M1WEH, back to you there, Sam.
Michael, is it G1WEH, Golf 6 United? Okay, fine. I know toys are yours. I know around that part of the world. I know it goes to Albury, you got that big shopping centre. I think, is it Sainsbury's? I'm not too sure. Just off the big island there. I know around that part of the world. I know, well, I'm blinking myself. I know my way over to West Brom, what's it called? I can't remember the blinking road now. Big company called Metal Closures, but that's a bit further over. Yeah, you got me lost, Mick. I've got to give you another.
Okay, then, no problem. Yeah, it's about a mile from Toys R Us. In a westerly direction, I would say. No, it would be easterly direction, about a mile from Toys R Us. Anyways, Sam, I don't know whether Kevin's still there to have a word with you, because I think he came in. So I'm going to hand it back to Horace, and he can see whether Kevin or somebody else came in to say hello to you as well there, Sam. So thanks for the chat there, and yeah, I'll put it back to Horace for the minute. So M0WHW, M1WEH, putting it back to you there, Horace. I'm not sure whether Kevin wanted to have a word with Sam as well, because I think he came in and gave the info back to you there, Horace.
Yeah, cheers, Mike. Well, we'll just check whether Kevin is still on frequency. Golf Zero Tango Papa Zulu, you still on frequency, Kev?
Yeah, it's alright, Horace. No, I was saying that it's Cupcake calling. It's his nickname, it's Cupcake. And you shouldn't be speaking to anybody south of Birmingham anyway. They're foreigners down there. No, I'm still working away. Good morning, Sam. Can only just about hear you. It's amazing how the conditions change, isn't it? But I think it was yesterday, it was sort of 5-9 plus a little bit. But this morning, just a little bit down on me this morning. But no, I'm still working away, but I am listening. It's very interesting. And get that vertical up and ground mount it, Horace. You'd be amazed. Because it's omnidirectional, certainly on 15 and 10, you get to Brazil no problem. You know, on 15 and 10, they work fine. Anyway, back to you, Horace. Morning, Sam. Back to you, Horace.
Oh, well, there we go. I will try it. I have tried it without much success there, Kev, but I obviously haven't been using it in the right way. Could do it being a little higher than I was able to get it. That's probably part of the problem. But we did have a different vertical to that. Another one, me and Ron, another friend of mine, another radio amateur board. We both bought the same version of this vertical, which was a bit of a waste of space, really. But there we go. Certainly the G5 is something we'll look at. The G5 works super well on these frequencies, but as I said earlier to you and to Mike, it's not such a hot potato, so to speak, on the high freak. It does work. I mean, I work ZL, K and whatever with it, but I think I've probably done better with something that's better at the high frequencies. Anyway, there we go there, Sam. We were talking different antennas, as you probably gather. Mike's got a couple of different rigs he's been recently acquired. He's moved he's got a new Super Shack now. When I mean Super Shack, I mean his Radio Shack is pretty super. One he's had built and various things going in there, so hence all the testing he's doing with the antennas there, Sam. Mine's a back bedroom, my shack. It looks a little at the moment like Marconi's workshop. It could do with a tidy up, to be honest. It's a bit unkept, to say the least. It's got too much stuff in a very small space there, Sam, over.
Yeah, okay, fine, Horace. Kevin, producer, I was talking to you, please, Dad, mate. You're very, very light this morning. What you done? Have you got out of bed the wrong side, young man? A very, very good morning. So yesterday you were 5 and 9 plus. This morning you're about 5 and 7, Kevin. I don't know what the blinking that you've done. The other question is, why aren't you at work earning some pennies? Yeah, Horace, I'm never going to forget your name, Horace. It goes back a long, long way. My mate, I used to work for the Co-op Milk years ago, and my mate said to all the girls used to ask my mate what my name was. And he said his name is Horace Hardcastle, Horace, over.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm usually classed as Hungry Horace, or there's another one whose name I can't put I can't put a name to. But there we go. Yeah, old name, old guy, really, 76. Good grief. I'm beginning to feel it as well now, Sam. I really am. We visited a friend of mine who was in hospital yesterday, me and my brother. My brother's a year younger than me, and we visited an old friend who was a childhood friend of ours who was in hospital. He's 70. Look, he expat from Spain. He was taken ill in Spain. I've been living in Spain for years, near Alicante. Anyway, he's taken ill and he's come back to this country. He's in New Cross at the moment, but I think he's going home this week sometime. Better treatment. It's all right living abroad, you know, guys. It's all right living abroad until something happens. The old service abroad is pretty non-existent, and he's in the hands of foreigners that can't speak English, so I think he's going to get better treatment where he is at the moment there, Sam, over.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, well, I've got a different story to that, Horace. My sister was taken ill in Spain. They got a holiday home in Spain. And she was very, very ill, Horace, and she had a blood clot on the brain. And they took her to Alicante Hospital. And I'll tell you what, Horace, they was as good as gold. They operated on her. and they saved their life on it. And my brother-in-law said you couldn't wish for a better hospital anywhere in the world, and that was in Alicante in Spain, Horace, over.
Well, that's where Roy lives. Roy lives near Alicante, but he had some procedures carried out. He had a biopsy on his ear, and he's lost his hearing to some extent. His hearing's gone kaput, and he had a slight stroke. Anyway, he's back at the moment in New Cross, Sam, over. Right, Horace? Yeah, break, Mike.
Yeah, okay, Horace, yeah, fine, yeah, well, those Everton bits, they arranged everything back here again.
Back on, just
came back here, she's working and
I'll
talking.
say goodbye to everybody on
So, you know, I can't thank them enough, Horace, that was absolutely brilliant, Horace. And what they did, she couldn't fly back, she had to come back by car, which they got there by car. And they arranged for it, she had to go to the hospital over here. But Horace, I couldn't praise them enough, young man. We was all worried about her. And they really sorted it out, Horace. Anyway, I think you've got a break station coming. Mike Zero, Whiskey, Mike Zero, Whiskey, Hotel Whiskey, Golf 6, United Radio, have
Yeah, it was Mike's clearing there, Sam. I'm going to do the same myself. Well, it's horses for courses. If you get the treatment, then everything's okay. I'm not sure what hospital he was in. All I know is they've got a holiday home. Well, it isn't a holiday home. They've got a villa. They live in Spain permanently. They can both speak Spanish reasonably well. They've been living in Spain for 10, 15 years now in this villa. Anyway, he's back at the moment in New Cross. At least he is. Well, it was Sunday, but I think he's coming out today. But there we go. Okay, Sam, look, I'm going to clear anyway. I've got various things to do. It's what's coming up to 10 to 12. I'm looking at the clock in the shack, which is 10 to 11. Of course, that's set on GMT, but there we go. So I'll say 73 to you there, Sam. Thanks for coming back. And yeah, it is antenna we took, and we can do a similar job with the G5 as you said, which is something I'll try. And I'll probably also look at fishing the Antron out the garage and setting it up on some standoffs or something, get a bit higher, that's what it needs. So look, all the best, Sam. Take care. Many thanks for coming back to the call. And to you, Kevin, all the best. 73s, many thanks for just joining in with the group temporarily. And I'll just send you back to Sam to finalise. All the best, Sam, from me. Take care. G6, Uniform Radio, Mike 6 and Mike 0, Whiskey Hotel Whiskey.
Yeah, okay, fine, Horace. I wish you best 7-3. You take care, have a good day. Open the sunshine. And Kevin, if you're listening, 7-3, you take care. And keep your foot in the ground, Kevin. 7-3 both. G6, you are now going clear. 7-3 is all the best, man.
73 is Sam.
Yeah, 7-3, Sam. I might catch you a bit later. I am working. This one for Horace. Horace, don't worry about getting poles and whatever. Just try it on the deck first, about 3 foot off the deck. Run a couple of sort of, counterpoises off the bottom, different lengths, and then have a play on 15. You'd be quite surprised. If you have a look at a G5, the radiation pattern, the higher it goes up, the lobes get narrower and narrower. It's got certainly a lot of, well, it hasn't got gain, but there's a lot of nulls, and it's the nulls that you sort of have a problem with. If you've got a station on one of the lobes, then it's fine, nothing will outperform it apart from a beam. But there's quite a few people, the further you go away, the nulls get wider, if you like, and so there's lots of black spots with the RV. If you stick a vertical up, you've got omnidirectional, and mine's ground mounted, and I do A/B comparisons between the R5 and the vertical, and I tell you, the vertical 9 times out of 10 outperforms both on transmit and receive on 15 and 10. So yeah, just get it tuned up for the 10 metre band. Well, I don't know. I think the Amtron's a bit smaller, actually, thinking about it. Is the Amtron what's that? That's only a half. That's only a half wave on 10, isn't it, Horace? Over.
I didn't quite catch the question, but I was going to ask you, did you adjust the rings on the Antron? Over?
Well, mine's the 2000, so it's bigger. So it is a 5.8. Is the Ampron 99 a 5.8 or a half size, half wave on 10?
5.8, isn't it, surely?
I don't know. I know this solar, what is it, whether it is the IMAX 2000, I think it's a bit bigger. But yeah, to answer the question about the rings, yeah, I just rotated them 2 turns up from the central point, and it's SWR's flat on the SSB portion, which is 28.3 up to 28.8 or something like that. It's absolutely flat, and it's dead flat right across 15. I put the analyzer on, and it's fine on those both those frequencies. And like I say, it outperforms the G5 on 9 out of 10 stations. Where it does lose is when the station's in one of the lobes of the G5, and then the G5's slightly better. But certainly you'd be quite surprised. Horace, over.
Well, what I will do next time is fit it out the garage and set it up. I did set it up about 3 foot off the deck, as it happens, but I didn't adjust the rings, and I didn't find it was all that brilliant. But the band conditions at the time weren't very good. Now I've got an analyzer. I can adjust it such that I can get better results, obviously, using the analyzer. Where does it perform best then, Kev, over?
It's best on, against the RV, it's best on 10, and it's best on 15. It outperforms the RV 9 times out of 10. You won't, obviously, you understand the radiation pattern of the G5 RV, the higher it goes up the frequency. You've seen the radiation patterns. There's lots of lobes on the G5 RV, whereas obviously with a vertical, there's no lobe, it's just a single sort of circular sort of band pattern. So if you can imagine, if you could overlay a circular band pattern over the lobes of a G5 RV on, say, 15 metres, then you'd see the amount of area that's covered with the vertical compared to the RV is vastly more. So, you hear stations that you can't hear on a G5 on 15 metres. Horace, over.
That. How near the house, how near property? Was this out in free space with a fair bit of room around it, or in like my case, it will be about 20 foot from the house and the buildings, over?
Yeah, well, mine's fed with 60 metres of 123 feet. It's 123 feet of 213. My shack's at the front of the house. The antenna itself is right at the back of the garden, right at the base of the garden, away from everything. Right at the end of the garden. So on the ground, it's 3 foot. It's about a metre off the deck. Horace, over.
Well, there you have it. In my case, the antron was on a small patch of lawn, which is about 20 feet away from the house and the garage. So it was up about 3 foot off the deck. I hadn't tuned it, I hadn't adjusted the rings, I hadn't put the analyzer on it, so I would probably attempt to tune it, but I could get something reasonable on mid-band 80, 17 metres is where I'd probably go for, 18 megs, etc. But I need to try. I could put it further up the garden, but I prefer not to do that due to the fact that it would be more seen, more out, more exposed, and I'd rather not do that there, over.
Yeah, it's too small. It's too small for 17. 15 is probably the limit because it's a half size, but anything below 15, then you're getting in the realms of it's not even the correct length, even putting a tuner on, then it's not going to work very well. It's comparable with a G5 on the lobes. That's why I've cut my G5 down to actually get it resonant on 17. So it's probably, I've knackered it a little bit on this band and a few of the other bands, but it's resonant on 17 metres, the G5 is now, as opposed to being on 20 metres. So yeah, that's what I've done to improve the performance on 17. but the verticals, you can tune them, but it's going to be shorter than a half wave. Shorter than a half wave is basically a double load, so it's not worth it. Horace, over.
Yeah, I can accept that. I'm just wondering where it's positioned. Previously, in the LCB days, the Antron 99 was stuck up in the air on standoff brackets in the side of the house, and I could work all over the place with it on 11 metres. But that's where it needs to be, I feel. If I'm going to use it on these frequencies, it needs to be much higher from the location where I am. Where I've got it in the middle of the lawn, fairly low down, too much building, too much brickwork around it to be effective there, Kev, over.
Oh, yeah. And of course, if you're saying 11 metres, 11 metre band is slightly different to the 10 metre band. When the 11 metre band is open, the 10 metres sometimes isn't. It's very, very strange. It really is rather bizarre. I've monitored the CB side of things, and I can hear people coming through all over Europe. And yet, onto the actual 10 metre ham band, that's not open. But yeah, when 10's open, 10 is open. It doesn't matter where it is. It can be sort of 60 foot off the deck or on the floor, and it'll still perform really, really well. Yeah, sort of anything on 10 will work really, really well with low power or whatever. But the band has to be open for it to work, irrespective of the height of the antenna. I mean, if you 5 o'clock, 10 metres, it's still open now. 5 o'clock our time, sort of 4 o'clock GMT in the afternoon. It still opens up down to Brazil, and I have a natter onto a couple of guys down in Brazil using the Solarcon, using 100 watts on a CB antenna, and it's a pretty regular sked that I have. It's not always there because the band's not always open, but it's still been open for quite some time now. I can't actually do that on a G5 because my G5 is southwest, northeast, so it's on the back of a null. It's on the back of one of the lobes as well. It's on one of the dead spots of the lobe. So the Solarcon, it outperforms to Brazil 100% better. But it's a regular contact, that is, as well. Horace, over.
Well, yeah, I'll have to fish it out the garage and set it all up again, and we'll do some more checks and see whether we can do some business with it. But I must admit, the last time I wasn't over pleased with it, mainly because the bands weren't all that clever at the time. I think they're pretty dead, but we'll see. Okay, I'll certainly try that, Kevin. I'll let you get off and do some work, he says in brackets. And I'm sure we'll work again before too long. G0 TPZ M0WHW by.
Yeah, okay then. Yeah, just run some. I mean, the reason for ground mounting it for me was to run some radials off of it, not just pieces of wire, random lengths, sort of 20 metres, 10 metres, in various directions if you can. Don't worry about if it goes to the fence and then it goes round the fence. Just as long as it's got something to ground against. Even though they're supposed to be DC grounded and all the rest of it, I found that it's no harm in doing it. And also, if you're going to feed it and if you're going to use a bit of power down it, put some coils of coax, do an ugly balun at the bottom at the feeder where the actual coax goes in. And I found that stops quite a lot of the RF coming back down the feeder and causing TVI and stuff like that. I've got about 7 turns at around about 8 inches diameter of 213 whizzing around just before it goes in, and I've not had a problem at all with it, Horace. I wish you best M3. Thanks for the Natron 80, and good luck with it. And I wasn't a believer until I put some vertical pieces of wire into the trees that I used to have. As you heard me say, we've had the conifers down there. Once I've got those up there, I was amazed. The difference doing an A/B test between the G5 and a vertical on the higher bands, it really opened my eyes. And then I've done the research to find a better one, the better sort of commercial vertical, and went for the IMAX 2000. All the best, Horace. Take it easy. And anybody else who's listening, it's G0TPZ going back to work.
Yeah, okay, Kevin. Cheers for now. Look forward to working you at station again. Cheers for you, TPZ, M0WHW off and clear. 73, Kev.
Yeah, 73. And if you're about, Sam, see you later.
Nauwkeurig zeggen dat waar de bliksem de grondinslag geweest is en tot nu toe is het niks.
And we use it for some mobile and portable work too, so the ICOM IC706 Mark II fits very neatly into the glove box, and we have a Hustler whip antenna attached to a very nice bracket on the back bumper, which was made for us, stainless steel bracket made for us by a local lad. So we're very lucky and have lots of fun with the hobby. Back to you, John.
So I may come back again. Yes. Donc, accroché dans les pattes. 50.
À 86,7 mètres au-dessus du sol.
Je vois que t'es prêt à recommencer une nouvelle semaine. Foxtrot. Yes. Conditions not the best today, Dale. Can you give me a radio report? At best, you were a 5 and 3. 5 and 3 at best, Dale. Over.
Tout énuméré de mes noms. Parce que je sais plus comment faire pour... Bravo, Antonio. Thank you very much for 59 and Wednesday today, and 73.
Gracias. Buenas tardes.
Ook denk ik 10:09, schat ik een beetje, hè. Ik zit met de rode en zwarte te luisteren, maar je weet hem ook een beetje schatten. Frans is heel wat zachter.
Bon, ben, je vois que tu t'occupes de ta popote, de mettre la table, bon, ben, c'est bien. Tu vas te battre avec personne. Radio, bon, ben, je t'en parle pas, hein, puisque...
Upp till Göteborg också. En annan kompis då.
Mais en fin d'après-midi, il est vers 5h30.
I don't know if I'm actually finished altogether, but I don't have an employer to go back to. I don't have a regular employer to go back to anyway, Dale. So I reckon I'm finished. They don't want us old codgers anymore. Over.
no me acuerdo de la frecuencia que es. No, esta es ideal para una distancia de 70, 80, quizás tenga más efectividad que la VHS, casi seguro que tiene más alcance, claro está, esa frecuencia porque es más baja. Bueno, pues venga Esteban, yo también me voy a quedar porque estoy esperando a mi hijo y me parece que ya oigo ruido ahí de los nietos. El cambio es tuyo, ya que quedamos los dos.
Charlie, people like you, was that?
Okay, Sugar, Quebec, number 6 again. Okay, Radio entering America, okay, 5 by 9, 59, Kyoto. Thank you for 59, shall we see, bye-bye, you all right? Number 1, November Hotel Whiskey, 59, Kyoto. Ça durait quoi, 20 minutes? Mais je te dis, j'en ai vidé 6 mm dans le pluviomètre. Et moi,
c'est un truc qui est mesuré en millimètres, hein, donc c'est un vrai, j'allais te dire, contrairement à toi qui a une gamelle. Enfin, mais là, elle est bien graduée et donc ça tombe pas. Mais enfin, c'est comme ça, c'est vrai que, disons, d'habitude, les pelouses, elles étaient un petit peu marron, parce que moi, je l'arrosais jamais. Cette année, disons, elle est verte, elle est belle.
Mike Lima Sierra mit CQ40 und hört mal. CQ40, allgemeiner Anruf, CQ der 40 Meter Band. Hier ruft Oscar Zulu 2, Mike Lima Sierra. Oscar Zulu 2, Mike Lima Sierra mit CQ40 und hört mal.
Five and six, but you know the condition is very bad at this time. So well, thank you for the contact, thank you for the special QSL card. I will be happy if you send me one.
Mais dis, tu pourrais venir avec nous, mais moi je sais pas, parce que cette semaine j'ai une semaine bien occupée, hein. Je réceptionne des...
Hotel Bravo 9, United Queen X-Ray. CQ40, Hotel Bravo 9, Uniform Quebec X-Ray. Hotel Bravo 9, United Queen X-Ray. CQ40, Hotel Bravo 9, Uniform Quebec X-Ray. Hotel Bravo 9, United Queen X-Ray.
Delta Germany 3, November Charlie Papa.
Also ich habe Delta Germany 3DG3, November Golf Papa. Ich habe mich da sicher verschrieben. Kannst du bitte, war das Delta Juliet oder Delta Golf 3 NGP November Golf Papa?
Ja, einen schönen guten Morgen, das ist Delta Golf 3 November Charlie Papa. Der Name hier ist Robert und das QDH. Das was sagt Peter. Schönen guten Morgen nochmal. Ja, wo bist du in Ceylon oder wie das heißt hier in der Schweiz?
Herzlichen Glückwunsch dir. Du, das ist aber ganz schön.
Et je pensais que c'était notre ami Michel 5e là, qui se signalait, hein. C'est peut-être pour ça, hein. Mais je vous dis, bon... Greg there loud and clear, but I heard somebody just before Greg. Who was the other station?
Yeah, this is Kilo Foxtrot number 7, Quebec, Quebec. Name here is Mike, and we are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, I think it's Kilo Foxtrot 7. Oh goodness, was it Mike? Mike, go ahead. Well, you get part of it, right, Jess? Call Kilo Fox number 7 QQ for Quack Quack. And name here is Mike, over. Okay, I'm not getting you too well. It's a relay.
I copied. His name is Mike. He's in Oklahoma, I believe. And his call is Kilo Fox 7, question mark, Quebec, Quebec. Mike, could you give me the first letter of your suffix a couple of times phonetically? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, QSL, no problem. Fox 7, Quebec, Quebec. Fox number 7, Quack, Quack, over.
Yeah, I'm not getting it either, pal. I do get KF7, question mark, Quebec, Quebec, and his name is Mike. That's all I can copy. Can anyone else out there, does anyone else have a better copy? Go ahead. Okay, nothing heard. I'll back to you. 4HW3MT.
Okay, Michael. Yeah, I think it's KF in Quebec, Quebec. QQ. Quack, quack, he said. So I believe I've got there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Very good. And, yeah, there's a lot of QSB. Your signal's up and down very much. But, Mike, anyway, welcome to the net. This is the JW TextNet, and we're a group of Jehovah's Witnesses that gather here each morning during this hour and consider a scripture together. So I hope you can stay with us, Mike, at KF7 Quebec, Quebec, K4HW.
Not hearing anything back from him this time. Mike, do you copy? Okay. All right, thank you. Dennis, you're getting a little bit light there. I don't know what happened to you, but you faded down pretty much. But anyway, we appreciate his checking in with us. Let's go ahead and pick up Greg. Greg, good morning to you, WP4HNN, K4HW.
Good morning to you and all the brothers. Checking in for questions and comments back to you.
Yeah, but might drop some more. Those spots are slowly rotating. They're just the spots that are up there right now were quite active 3.5 weeks ago, but now they're just kind of melancholy. So it's not doing it very much up there on the sun. Yeah, the walk behinds they don't make anymore, and I guess they're probably the reason they aren't is because of maybe they had some problems with them, or maybe they just weren't bought that much and they weren't profitable. But mine's like 8-9 years old, Pete. Over. Well, one that I had was the Freshman. I don't know who made it for him, but man, that thing I had almost $300 on that on the M3ARB thing, and it was still running good. I gave it to my son. The body was rusting out on it, but the engine and the running gear worked great. And now you get over 9 in here.
I thought I heard Chuck's voice, but I'm not sure. You're not registering on the S-meter at all. Budget in about 25 years. We're looking at 67 degrees and cloudy. It was still under that rain cloud for a couple of more days. We still got the high noise, and I guess we're going to be stuck with that for a while. I've not brought up Echo Link yet, but I will. KC2DIA K4 Hotel Charlie Alpha.
The automatic, yeah. I'm going to go back to the beginning again. So I'm going to go on to what?
Go to help and then go down to about help.
Okay, 616.59.105.
Oh, you're really old.
Oh, really, yeah?
Yeah, you should update it.
Well, I have to be careful of that sometimes because how many old those women just cause problems.
Let's go back then. Go back to your tools again. Go to options.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
This guy's hand down there, but you put out pretty good signal, mobile and all.
Anyway, good to have you check in with us. We appreciate that. And I hope you can, ride along with us for a little bit and check in again. We'd love to have you. Okay, do we have any other check-ins? K4HW. Okay, well, let's see. Let's go back to Ross and Claudia there. VE1BHE, K4HW. All right, very good. Thank you, Ross. Going to check in for the data next end, K4HW.
Hey, M3ARB.
Good morning. morning, John. There you are. How are you this morning? With a nice signal, too. K3MHM, K4HW.
Okay, good morning to you. Good morning to the group. I'm not hearing the group. I can tell they're in there. Ross, I could just copy him. Hey, you're the only one I'm copying right now. You just popped out of the noise about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Wow. Man, yesterday I couldn't hear anyone at all. I had that power line noise that was just, well, my airspeed was 20 over 9. I don't hear it this morning. Yeah. Temperature-wise, we've got 58 degrees. Calm, and the storm's moving through late afternoon, early evening. Up into tomorrow. So, looking too good for tomorrow. Back to K4HW, K3MHM.
Okay, John. Well, that's the weather for you. Yeah, we've had, the last 2 days have been rainy and overcast, and today is going to be the same thing, I believe. So, and it's been cooler, so I don't know. That's not like being really hot, you know. That's okay. All right, good to hear you, John. Any other check-ins? K4HW. So, Bill, back over to you, W1GH, K4HW.
Maybe he's out on another fishing trip away from the radio, but that voice coming down there from Canada. Hopefully he'll be back on here before long. And going out to St. Joe there, I do agree with you, John. I don't think that after using that PW1, I don't think that Tokyo High Power would have been very satisfying. I think after all the capabilities of that PW1. I have a friend that has one over there just a couple miles away from me here, and he has it paired up with a 7800. He has that big one of ICOMs, and man, that's just a nice radio. But he has it paired up with well, actually, he had it paired up with the one that I have now. This ICOM that I have, I got from him, and I think you're right about something new isn't always something better. I know I sold had a Yaesu. I sold it to get the FT2000, and I didn't have it a year, and I got rid of it. It was too digital. The audio was awful for my taste. It was a good radio, did everything they said it would do, but it wasn't for me. But I had a good MP that I let go that I wish I had it back of all the radios I bought and sold. That's, besides with my college desk line, I got rid of that there, but I wish I had it back too. But that Yaesu, that MP was a great radio for my purposes. It worked really good. But I do enjoy this ICOM. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. The DSP stuff in it is really good, and I like how you can adjust the filters. But anyway, out to you, St. Joe, W0SIT, KQ4IX.
KQ4IX, W0SIT. Yeah, QSL all the way there, Brad. Your S9 right up there all the time. Whatever we got together with the antennas and the proclamation there, it always works out pretty well. You generally put in an S9 signal up here in St. Joe. Very seldom that you don't. But conditions will change, and sometimes they don't hold up all the time, but usually about 99% doing a nice job. And the antenna and everything works out beautifully there. Well, anyway, I still have the vertical antennas, the Titan vertical. I think John has one down there in Florida too, and that's the only thing I have anymore. I used to have a 10/20 rotomatic beam on a 65-foot tower, but I moved out of that location, so I'm on a postage stamp lot here right now, so that's why I'm using the vertical. And that Titan is so nice because you don't have to have any radios on it. It loads up real well, and I always have a fairly good signal out of it if you run a little power. And I generally run a kilowatt. I generally run that all the time, usually on 40 because of conditions. Well, let's see. I'm not too sure where to put it from here, but I think I sent it to AC2KU last time. I was copying Bob AC2KU better than I was copying W8WSL last time. So I'll turn it back to you there, Bob. AC2KU W0SIT. Yeah, okay there, Brad. Bob, AC2KU W0SIT. Boy, your signal came up real good there. I didn't even recognize you for a moment. You were so strong. So apparently the conditions are changing around. And it's getting my time to get out of here. I'm pulling out of here at 6:30 Central, so I'm going to take another 40 winks. I need it. Didn't sleep good again last night. Woke up too many times during the night. So I've been getting kind of weary here on the radio. So I'm going to say 73 to everybody. And it's been enjoyable talking to y'all. And hope conditions improve like they have today. So I think they're coming up. You may end up having a good net here. So I'll turn it there to Bob, W8WSL net control. So 73 is everyone. So here it comes back to you, Bob. W8WSL, W8WSL, W0SIT.
Everybody else, I think, got in there, Brad, pretty well. Lost Church Bob, and no copy on St. Joe. I hadn't heard John Francis in a while, so I don't think they've been on yet. Anyway, that's kind of where it's at out here. I'm going to stick around till the signal fades away. That won't be much longer, but I'm going to see if I can get y'all back. 74 anyway, KK5.
KK5GK, KQ4X. Well, you came back up a little bit there, Tom. got most of that there. So just since it's got a little lighter out there, my noise did come up quite a bit here from what it usually is. So, but anyway, always good hearing you out here, and thanks for the kind words on the daughter's birthday there. So that's I guess pretty much wrap it up here before long. I guess I'm going to say 73, and I will say to John down there in Spring Hill, I'll pass it down to him here next. But you know, on your way up north, if you ever get in a jam or get tired, you need a place to stay. You got a place over here and then in Chesapeake there, John. So I don't think you come over this way very often. If you do, I've never known you to say you do. But anyhow, if you ever need a place, see in a jam or anything, just I'm in the book. Just give a call or let me know, and we'll get out there and take care of you, whatever you need to get you on your way. So with that, I'll send it down to you. Say 73 in the net. Look for you in the morning. So it's KR4MH, KQ4IX.
KQ4IX. This is KR4MH. Okay, Brandon, I appreciate the offer, and you never know when I might take advantage of that. I have no idea what direction I'm going up this year. I'm trying to avoid some of those problem areas that I don't like, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. Of course, I avoid Atlanta like a plague, and so I try to work around that, and you never know what direction I might end up going. But I sure do appreciate the offer. And you have a great signal and a great day. And let's see, I heard John quite well here on that one. I did hear Tom in there, not strong enough to know what he was saying, but I did hear him. So the band is changing a little bit. I'm going to send it back up to Bob because it's down to the half-hour point here now. So Bob, it's coming your way. Hopefully you're going to copy me okay. WHWSL, this is KR4MH.
there, Frank.
Have a key and all we're getting is a growling noise.
Yeah, that's they're trying to do a little quirm, Frank. Wasn't very successful. Carl, nobody's looking for an amplifier partner, but they're trying to sell one. You want to buy one? They need static or something there, Frank. Catch you another day there, Carl. TTFN.
I heard him when he signed off. Where was he, Frank?
In his moped field, Ronnie.
Yeah, he's out in West Texas, Ronnie. Carl. Out in West Texas.
The guy I heard you had a pretty decent signal when he came in. Didn't sound like a mobile, but maybe it was.
Carl was in there talking, yeah, Yes, sir.
Where's all the gang this morning? Again, Tunis Joe, Uncle Willie, KK4VHL, hello, it's a Missy again.